Check out Strictly Street on YouTube. Hell yeah, bro.
What's up, guys? Strictly Street here today. Got a new video for y'all. So today is Saturday. We are here at the track. Did a private rental this weekend, so got some pretty good weather. We got kind of lucky with the weather. It was raining where I lived. The track's about an hour away, and but it's cloudy and it's pretty dry here, so it looks like we're gonna get kind of lucky on the weather. DA is about -600 right now, so hopefully by the time we make some passes it'll still be negative, but we just got to unload the car, and some more cars are going to show up. But pretty much as soon as they finish prepping the track, we'll be ready to go, and we are going to be trying to set a new personal best. We're going to be rerunning my dad in the Trans Am, going to run my mom in the Trans Am, and then we're going after kind of like a little micro record. I'm hoping to try to get the fastest bolt-on time on stock converter, so hopefully we can get that done today. I don't know if we can. I think if we make a clean pass, we should probably be pretty close to the time. It's a 10. The fastest 8-speed on stock converter is a 1066, and then the 10-speed is 1063. So ideally I'd like to beat both of them, but I think if we make a clean pass, I think it should be pretty close to both, but we'll just have to wait and see. My mom's walking up right now. All right, so we just got to pull my car off the trailer. Angel and his turbo Mustang, and then dad over there with Trans Am, then my mom.
I'm gonna stand by the fence. Is this even safe?
Alright guys, about to make our first pass. Alright, here we go. We're gonna try leaving it in drive, see how it does. There's no rocks on my tires, right?
Huh?
There's no rocks on my tires, right?
Yes.
There are?
Do a good burnout.
Right there. Try this again. I think maybe the car wasn't warmed up enough. Adjust the tune again, but it didn't hit the limiter all that bad. It hit it pretty bad, but not super bad. So we're getting in the right direction as far as the tune goes on first gear. So we're probably going to need to lower the mile an hour more on the first gear side. But yeah, overall I think it probably ran like an 11, probably like 11.1 something, but we'll have to see. did spin a little bit, but I pedaled it, but it still hit limiter after I pedaled it. So yeah, we're gonna have to lower the mile an hour for sure. So we'll I'll get back over there. I'll get with Dave and have him drop the mile an hour. That pass might have been a 10 maybe, but it still wasn't that good of a pass. And 4th to 5th really short shifted because I accidentally bumped it back to manual, so I threw it back to drive and it short shifted. So that's all right, but we'll get the trans tune adjusted, and then, you know, hopefully we'll set a good time. I'm hoping that was at least in the 10s. It probably wasn't, but if that was at least in the 10s, then that'll kind of give me a good idea on how far we can really expand. Alright, 4th pass, adjusted the trans tune this time. If we can hook it, hopefully we'll make a good pass, but I don't know if we're going to hook. I'm going to ask them probably if they'll respray the track. So that was good. That's a step in the right direction for sure. Didn't hit limiter, but I did spin. I pedaled it as soon as I felt it start to spin, and I pedaled it as soon as I felt it start to spin. So, but it short shifted first gear by a good amount. It probably shifted at like 6,000 RPM, which, I mean, I guess it's better for it to short shift than to hit limiter. So we're gonna see what the car ran. It should have probably ran a 10 on that. So we're gonna see what the car ran, and we'll go from there. Pass number 5. If we could dead hook, we should set a new personal best. So that's what I'm hoping for. They just resprayed the track. but it did like touch the limiter first gear. It barely touched it. So I don't, oh man. That probably kind of hurt me a little bit because it did touch the limiter, but that still could have been a new personal best though. That felt like a good 60 foot. The car left pretty good, so we'll just have to wait and see. Pass number 6, I'm gonna shift myself out of first.
Don't sit on it. You gotta get a break. Shifted it myself out of first gear on that one, just to kind of make sure that it didn't hit limiter, and then I threw it to drive, and that was a pretty clean pass. So if I don't break my personal best on that, then the car's just not going to get any faster. So if the car didn't get any faster, I have a couple theories on why that could be, because I did change something recently. So it could have been that part, and that part could have made the car slower. I don't know, but I'm gonna go look at the slip and see how we did. Alright guys, so it's the next day. The car's back in the shop, and so now we'll go over the time slips. I didn't really have time to do that yesterday, but now we'll go over the slips, we'll go over each run, and we'll kind of talk about each run in detail. Alright, so this is actually going to be my second slip. The first slip, I just threw that one away because it was like a 13-second pass. I let out, pretty sure I let out before the 8th. Basically like the first 3 gears hit limiter, so I just let out.
because there was no point in even staying in it after that. But this is my second slip, 11.0 at 125. So spun really bad, as you could tell by the 60 foot. And then also I believe, or I know for a fact, we hit limiter on the first few gear changes on this one. So 11.06 at 125. The third run did a 11.07 at 126. So again, spun, hit limiter, and then after this pass, I think this is where we had adjusted the trans tune, because I want to say we made 3 passes and then we adjusted the trans tune. So fourth pass, 1090 at 125, 7.0 to the 8th, 169 60 foot, so spun. Next pass, so this would be the 5th one, I believe, 1086 at 125, 7.00 to the 8th, 159 60 foot, so I actually hooked on that one and cut a good 60 foot, but for some reason the 8th mile just wasn't there. Oh, on this one we actually hit limiter, so I remember this one hit limiter in first, so that's what happened on that. That's why that one wasn't a in the 6s as far as the 8th mile goes. Next pass, 1081. So this was my first personal best of the day. I apologize if the camera's kind of shaky, but 162 60 foot. So we did hook, but I guess I just didn't flash the converter quite as good, because I didn't cut that great of a 60 foot. 101 to the 8th, 695 to the 8th, 1081 at 126. So that was my that was the first personal best that I set that day. And then we did another pass, got slower, 1082 at 126. So hooked on that one again, but still the 60 foot just wasn't quite the best. So didn't get into the 1.5s and the 60 on that one, but still did a 1082. And then the last pass is my current personal best, 1079 at 126, 695 to the 8th, and trapped 101, almost 102 to the 8th mile. So there are all the passes. I honestly kind of feel like the car got slower. I recently changed something. I'm about to show y'all. I haven't showed y'all, but I'm about to show y'all right now, because I feel like the car actually got slower with this mod. So I'm going to show y'all real quick, and then I'll kind of tell you what the plan is from here on out. To the front and show y'all what it is. So this is what I recently changed, the lid on the high rim. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood open real quick just so y'all can kind of see. Alright, so here's a better look at the lid. So it is sheet metal. It is taller, has a 105mm throttle body opening. I do have a ported 95mm throttle body, so we're not maximizing that opening, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like the car might have got slower with this lid, and I mean, it could, maybe it's too much for a bolt-on car, maybe it's too much plenum volume for a bolt-on car. I have no idea. I'm honestly very confused on why. Like, I mean, I was expecting the car to maybe pick up a mile an hour or so, which the car either got slower or it didn't gain anything. If it didn't gain anything, that's fine, but if it got slower, then that's going to be an issue. I need to do some testing with the other lids, so next time I go to the track, I'm going to take the normal high rim lid with me, and we're going to swap lids, and we're going to see. Hopefully we'll be able to tell a difference without having to change a tune. I'm going to see if maybe Casey can send me the old tune. That way I'll have that if we need to change the tunes, but hopefully we don't need to, and we can see a difference between the two lids. But I'm just really confused, because I've never ran, or since I did the high rim, I've never dead hooked at the track. So I never knew really what my trap speed would be dead hooking. So I mean, they do say if you spin, you're normally going to trap slightly higher if you spin a little bit. So I mean, I am taking that into consideration, but at the same time, like, I trapped 127 in San Antonio before I did this lid, and I did spin a little bit, so I had a 165 60 foot on that pass when I ran the 1082, and then when I ran the 1079, I had a 166 60 foot, so pretty close in the 60s. 8th mile with this lid was slightly faster, just 1/100 of a second faster.
but we're down a mile an hour. So I'm really confused on if this lid actually picked any up at all. And we did retune the car on the dyno, and this is another part that really is kind of frustrating, because when we retuned the car on the dyno was reading way different than when we last dynoed the car. So when we last dynoed the car, the car made 453, and then we put this lid on, took it to Casey to get retuned, and then the car made like 560, or I think, yeah, 560. It's pretty consistent in the 560s. So obviously my car does not make 560 wheel. It's just a bolt-on car, stock cam, stock heads. There's no way that it makes 560. So something was off with the dyno, and the reason why that's frustrating, that's not Casey's fault or anything like that, but just the reason why it's kind of frustrating is because we can't compare this lid to the other lid. We can't compare the numbers from the old lid to this lid because the numbers were so drastic of a difference. So so that's kind of frustrating. I was hoping at the track, you know, I'd be able to kind of tell a little bit of a difference, hopefully on the positive side, and by that I mean like us gaining some mile an hour or something. But unfortunately I didn't see any gain at all. Might have taken a loss. I don't know. It's really hard to say. I've been, you know, talking to some people to try to kind of figure out why that was and what's going on, because I mean the car either lost power or it stayed pretty much the exact same. So I don't know. I'm trying to kind of find an answer to that. I need to do more testing. Like I said, I'm going to do testing with the normal high rim lid, do testing with this lid, and compare the numbers that way. Do testing at the drag strip, and then also do testing with a Dragy 60 to 130. So I need to do that. I'm going to do that in the near future for sure. I need new tires, so I was spinning at the track. The prep wasn't really that bad. The prep was actually pretty good. The times I hooked is when the prep was like really fresh. So I need new tires too. So I got a lot of things that I'm trying to do within the next few months. You know, Texas 2K is not too far away, and I'm gonna have to spend a lot of money to get the car where I want it by Texas 2K. So hopefully we can get there. I don't know. If we don't, we may have to skip Texas 2K this year. I don't know. I want to go, but at the same time I kind of don't want to go because things have been so bad lately, or the past few years has just been so bad with cops and stuff, that it's kind of to the point that I'm like, is it even worth risking it at this point? So I don't know, but we'll see, I guess, when that time comes. And like I said, I'm gonna do more testing with the lid, and then hopefully, you know, mod the car further, and, you know, just keep trying to get faster, So if you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.